Good morning. Welcome to Regional Parks Storytime programming for Tuesday, November 10th. My name is James, and behind the camera is Allison. And today, we haven't ventured far from the eco. We are at Mission Creek Regional Park on the traditional and unceded territory of the Okanagan Silk people. And our theme today is all about snow. I woke up this morning and I saw the fresh white blanket of snow outside, and I thought, yes, it's time to talk about snow, which is a super fun thing because there's lots of fun things we can do in the snow to go outside and play, but it's also an important part of our ecosystem in the Okanagan, and many of the plants and animals have all adapted special ways to live and even thrive in snowy conditions. So to start with, we're going to talk a little bit about snow. Snow is frozen water. It's just raindrops that are falling from the clouds when the temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius. And that's the temperature when water freezes or solidifies and becomes a solid. And then that's what we get snow. Lots and lots of snow. So each of these snowflakes that are falling to the ground take about 45 minutes up to an hour to fall from the clouds in the sky and then all the way down, drifting to the surface of the earth, which is quite a long trip. And during that time, they can grow bigger, they can join with other snowflakes. They might hit an area where it's a little bit above zero. They might melt a little bit and then refreeze. So all of these factors mean that each snowflake is unique. And there are a lot of snowflakes that fall to the ground each year. It is estimated, and really it'd be really tough to prove, but there's some scientists that make estimates on this sort of information about how many snowflakes fall, and the number is 315 billion trillion snowflakes. So if you were to write that out on a piece of paper, that would be a number about this long with lots and lots and lots of zeros. And then 315 at the front. And one of the neat things you can do with all those snowflakes is look at them. So we brought out this piece of black fabric, which I'm going to fold out right here to capture the snowflakes, as well as this device, which is a magnifying glass. And we're having some troubles with it because it's getting a little bit foggy. But on the black felt, you can really see the snowflakes as they land. And we've left the black felt outside for an hour and a half so that it's not warm at all. So it's the same temperature as outside. So it's below zero, so the snowflakes don't melt. And Allison has an umbrella over top of the black felt, which is preventing them from landing on it. So now that she moved the umbrella, the snowflakes are starting to fall. And what we can do when we get a neat snowflake is we can try to look at it like that. So if I go like that, I'll let Allison see if she can zoom in there with the camera and get a picture of a snowflake. And while she's doing that, I'm going to have her zoom up here. Are you able to see it there?
No.
But you can see there's lots of snowflakes falling on the black felt and how they all have different shapes and sizes. There's this sheet here, Allison, if I can get you to zoom in on this, which shows many of the different shapes snowflakes can have and how the temperature outside, see there's 0 degrees that we talked about, and as it gets colder in temperature, then the shapes of the snowflakes change as well. So right now we're right around zero, so we're going to be looking for snowflakes in this area here, and as it gets colder, you can find all sorts of different shapes. This is a really neat activity to do, and we offer Snowflake Investigation programs as part of our programming throughout the winter. So check that out, and I'll give you the address at the end. But now we're going to read our first story, which is called Over and Under the Snow, written by Kate Mesner, illustrated by Christopher Silas Neal, and published by Chronicle Books. Over and Under the Snow. Over the snow I glide, into woods, frosted, fresh, and white. Over the snow, a flash of fur. A red squirrel disappears down a crack. Where did he go? I ask. Under the snow, Dad says. Under the snow, a whole secret kingdom where the smallest forest animals stay safe and warm. You're skiing over them right now. Over the snow I glide, past beech trees rattling leftover leaves and strong silent pines that stretch to the sky. On a high branch, a great horned owl keeps watch. Under the snow, a tiny shrew dodges columns of ice. It follows a cool tunnel along the moss out of sight. Look, Dad says. Tracks. Tracks always tell a story. Over the snow, a deer has crossed our path. Deep hoof prints punch through the crust. Up the hill under a tree, an oval of melted snow tells the story of a good night's sleep. Under the snow, deer mice doze. They cuddle up against the cold in a nest of feathers and fur. Over the snow I climb, digging in my edges so I don't slide back down. Under the snow, voles scratch through slippery tunnels, searching for morsels from summer feasts. Over the snow I swoosh, down, down, faster, faster, down, faster, faster, whoops! Under the snow, a snowshoe hare watches from the shelter of a spruce. Almost invisible, she smooths her fur, a coat of winter white. Over the snow I glide, past reeds where tadpoles play tag in springtime. Under the snow, fat bullfrogs snooze. They dream of sun-warmed days back when they had tails. Over the snow I stand and stare, little mountains in the marsh. Under the snow, beavers gnaw on aspen bark. Settled in for supper, can they hear my tummy rumbling too? Over the snow, stop, a sound. We stand like statues carved in ice, till a bushy-tailed fox steps from a thicket, tips his ear to the ground, listens still, and leaps out onto the snow after an invisible dinner. His paws scratch away to find the mouse he heard scritch, scritch, scratching along underneath the snow. Over the snow I glide. A full moon lights my path to supper. Under the snow, a chipmunk wakes for a meal. Bedroom, kitchen, hallway, his house under my feet. Over the snow, I climb one last hill. Bonfire smoke rises. Warm hands, hot cocoa. Hot dogs sizzling on pointed sticks. Under the snow, a black bear snores, still full of October blueberries and trout. Over the snow, the fire crackles, and sparks shoot up to the stars. I lick sticky marshmallows from my lips and lean back with heavy eyes. Shadows dance in the flames. Under the snow, a queen bumblebee drowses away December all alone. She'll rule a new colony in the spring. Over the snow, I glide home on tired legs. Clouds whisper down feathery, soft flakes. Under the covers, I snuggle deep and drift into dreams of cuddling deer mice and slumbering frogs, hungry beavers and tunneling voles, drowsy bears and busy squirrels, and the secret kingdom under the snow. All those animals. The end. So that book there tells the story of how many animals live and survive during the winter and in the snow. And as it mentioned in there, the snow acts like a blanket over top of the ground, which keeps the squirrels and the voles and the mice and the chipmunks warm underneath. Just like lying in bed with a blanket over top of us, it keeps us warm at night. The snow does the same for those animals living underneath. So it's right around zero there. It can be much colder on top of the snow, and underneath will be warm enough for those animals to survive without any trouble. Lots of snow falling there. There's lots of snow falling outside right now. So just before we read our next story, I had another special picture to show you, and that's that in the snow there's lots of stories, from stories about how snow falls, stories about the mystery of snow, and stories about Yeti, which is one of my favorite stories. And it's Yeti are just like Sasquatch or Bigfoot that live in the Himalayas, which are mountains in Asia. And I found this picture online of a Yeti's paw print, a Yeti's footprint. And here's an ice axe that is about 40 or 50 centimeters long, and you can see how big that Yeti print is. And the reason I mention this is because one of the other fun activities you can do during the winter is look at tracks of other animals, because the snow makes for a great way to see deer tracks or squirrel tracks or raccoon tracks or any animals that are out in the park. And you can see who's been there before you. So our next book is called Snow. And I'm just trying to keep all the stuff dry there. This is written by Steve Stanfield, illustrated by Jeanette Winter, and published by Philomel Books. Snow. Somewhere in the distance of this chilly night, an owl calls. Waking this morning to find the world covered in white. That was me this morning. Pretty excited. All the world a single color, even the sky.
Yep.
Just like now. The dry grasses seen afresh after a night of snow. Limbs cracking, branches snapping, snow doing its work. Sailing ships and skyscrapers shaped by the shifting snow. Not even barking dogs penetrate this wall of snow, the hush of it. Bent to the ground, that plum tree I planted on my birthday. Under deep ice, the sound of rushing water. A black cat makes the snow whiter. So much snow, who can remember when it began? Sliding from one branch to another and still another. On moonlit snow, even my shadow is cold. Never brighter, never farther away, the winter stars. Even before returning, my tracks are covered. Light in a blizzard, even friendlier, because it's my house. Midnight, snow still falling, no one going anywhere. All night long, thousands of snowflakes gathering on the roof. Tracks in the snow. What happened while I slept? There's deer and coyote and maybe some raccoons. Lots of tracks. After the storm, walking in the woods, listening to the silence. Suddenly, the sparkling sun, but still very cold. So very cold. The snow falls only for itself this last night of the year. The power of snow to make all things new. The end. So that story there tells us, again, some of the fun things we can do in snow. And we at Regional Parks will have many fun things to do in snow through November and December. So if you would like to check out some of our in-person and virtual programming, please visit our website at rdco.com/parks, where our schedule for November and December programs is up. You can register there, and you can also see our links for Facebook, forgot the name of that place, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, where all of our virtual programs are still available. I'm going to make a snow angel.